A lot of us have a lot of hard time finding work, like in agriculture. It's like not that many hours, like in the potato salad. Sometimes you work like 1, 2, or 3 hours a day.
The need for Care and Share in our community has grown tremendously. We've had a lot of people losing their jobs in our area.
My husband was laid off very, very suddenly from his job, and we found ourselves in a position of, wow, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? There came a point when I knew that we needed to go and get some help.
Care and Share's mission is to bridge the gap between hunger and abundance, and what that basically means from kind of an operational standpoint is that our role is to find a good home for the billions of pounds of food that go to waste in our country every year. We basically act as a distributor or an intermediary. We bring in food from all over the United States, donated food from food manufacturers.
The face of hunger has changed dramatically in the last 2 to 3 years. One of the biggest changes is the fact that the majority of people that are seeking assistance are dual parent households with a couple of children.
We have operated in a handful of facilities and most recently wrapped up our organization's first capital campaign, about an $8.5 million project that we completed and moved into a new 50,000 square foot facility here in Colorado Springs that will be our home for the long term. We bring in food from a variety of sources. First and foremost would be our national network, Feeding America. We're actually the third largest nonprofit organization in the United States. One of the great things about being a part of Feeding America is this national network, this national fabric that we serve every county in the United States. The other really exciting thing about being part of this Feeding America network is the leverage that it provides us nationally from a policy and awareness standpoint. About 60% of our food comes in from Feeding America from outside the state of Colorado. So this might be Raisin Bran at the Kellogg's plant in Battle Creek, Michigan that doesn't have enough raisins in it. So food that's perfectly safe to eat but doesn't meet their specifications to sell. And then the other 40% comes primarily from local sources and from the United States Department of Agriculture. So that food comes into Care and Share, goes back out to those 435 organizations spread throughout a 31 county service area in southern Colorado. Those agencies then serve clients directly. So you're talking about a lot of kids, a lot of working families that are already working, already doing their part to be self-sufficient, and they need a little help through, as an example, a car breakdown or a healthcare issue.
Today is delivery day in Alamosa, San Luis Valley. What we're doing is we're dispersing all this food for the member agencies. Bill Clark trucks the food into Alamosa, and then I call the agencies and they come in and pick up their orders, which they have ordered. So then they pick it up, go home and put it in their pantry and distribute it to the needy.
My daughter would have been 6 and my son 4, and within the whole thing, amazingly, I became pregnant again with a 3rd child. We were in a desperate situation and found myself looking for some help. And that is a moment that a lot of people maybe have never thought about. But until you walk in and find yourself in that very humbling position of having to ask for help, you'll never understand. And it's not the people you may think it is.
Care and Share has really progressed with their ability to reach out through a variety of rural communities and communities in southeastern Colorado with expanded facilities. They've really, on a number of occasions, gone to the very limit of what they can deliver, but they very, I think, smartly have progressed forward and enhanced and really expanded their area for food delivery, but they've done it in a graduated, not a geometric way.
With the new facility that we have here in Colorado Springs and in Pueblo, we have the capacity now to take that product that we otherwise had to turn down in years past. We actually turned down about 9 million pounds of food.
The food bank is they help people, you know. It's a resource, you know. If it wasn't for the food bank, we wouldn't have nothing.
It is a blessing to have aid agencies right here in our community that can help when people need it the most.
We oversee all the nonprofit organizations that utilize the food bank for food for their programs. We make sure that they're able to store the product appropriately and that they distribute the product out to those individuals and families that are seeking assistance. We also oversee the programs that Care and Share has, the Send Hunger packing programs and the mobile food pantry programs. Kids Cafe is a program, it's basically a soup kitchen for kids that's housed in an environment where they're safe, like a community center or a youth program at the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA. Currently we have 11 Kids Cafe sites throughout Colorado Springs and Pueblo. We need to grow to at least 20 more Kids Cafe sites throughout our service area. The mobile food pantries are a wonderful program because it does allow us to get into rural areas that we don't necessarily have member organizations that we partner with in those areas, or if we do, they're very small.
We have 3 community gardens at our site. One of the things is we look at sustainability, not just with the building itself, but organizationally.
Care and Share delivers every Thursday, so they bring it straight to us. We've got a closet where we keep everything and a giant fridge that Care and Share has put in the building for us, so it's all very convenient. We've got one little girl who, you know, her family was going through a tough time and they were only able to eat about once a day. You know, so we were able to get her not only the after-school program, but send hunger packing. So she was able to get, you know, several meals during the weekend, and that was just a lifesaver for their family, especially because her mother had lost her job during that period. So it was a really tough time, and they were able to have that extra and actually eat. The after-school snacks is huge for these kids. To come in every day and be able to get an after-school snack and know that it's going to be there every single day, you know, that's amazing. And a lot of parents, they'll send their kids over here after school just to give them that little bit extra, you know, because they don't have it at home.
The great thing about our work is that we have a very good idea of what ending hunger looks like. A hunger-free Southern Colorado means that everyone in Southern Colorado has access to 3 healthy, decent meals a day. And right now, that gap is about 17 million meals a year for us to truly affect that change and close that gap, which equates to about 22 or 23 million pounds of additional food. That gap, 17 million meals, sounds like a lot, but it's entirely possible. And I think once you know what the extent of the issue is, which we do, then you can really monitor progress in making sure that that 17 million meals someday becomes a 0.
You know, we've dealt for 30 years with Care and Share and have made a couple $1 million in grants because we have found that Care and Share on an ongoing basis has had good management, financial strength, and they also deliver, because of their volume, real quantity and quality in food throughout the regions that El Pomar is interested in.
Without Care and Share, it would be way too expensive for us to afford the after-school snacks. We wouldn't be able to offer that at all. The Send Hunger packing program, there's not anything like it in our area. So, you know, and that's not something that we could afford. So Care and Share provides us with the opportunity to offer all those things to the people who really need it.
In 2008, in Southern Colorado, Care and Share's service area, we distributed 11.3 million pounds of food, which equates to nearly 300 semi-truckloads of food and grocery product. That's a lot of food.
Get educated, get informed, and do something. Take action, because together we can bridge the gap between hunger and abundance.